It's setting up the meeting and it's redirecting it to YouTube. And we are live. Setting up the meeting and it's redirecting it to YouTube. And we are all right. Live. All right, ladies. Well, welcome. Welcome. I am so excited to be here with all of you guys. And if you guys are joining us live or if you are watching the replay, welcome. I'm so excited. You guys are going to love this conversation. So if you're joining us live, make sure that you comment and let us know where you're joining in from. I know we're live in a couple places. So if you're on IG, say hi. If you are on YouTube, say hi. If you're watching the replay, we're so glad you're here. Feel free to comment replay as well. And I'm sure that you are seeing these beautiful women that I have here. And what we are going to be chatting about is we are going to be pulling the curtain behind or pulling back the curtain on our new book called Rise: How to Find Your People, Your Power, and Your Purpose in your journey towards success. And these incredible women, minus one that's not on here, Melanie, we love you, we miss you. We are going to dive into some of what it has been in this journey. And we are officially in pre-order. And if you are watching this after the end of August, then get your copy. But hi, ladies, welcome. We have Noelle Custis, we have Elizabeth Scarcella, we have Mary Semenza, we have Heather Olson and Heather McNally. My name is Charity Majors, and Melanie Hirschhorn, she is our other author. We have 7 incredible voices in this book, and we are going to pull back the curtain and have some juicy conversations. So I'm really glad that you guys are here. Say hi, ladies. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you so much. It's so exciting. Yes.
I love it. So I want to just kind of dive right into the deep end. You guys know me. I am not one to tiptoe and talk about the weather, although I do like a good pair of shoes. And can we just say Noelle's lip gloss is, I mean, yes. It just is so good. It's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
But I want to dive right into pulling back the curtain on what it has looked like for you ladies to really embody this call as an author, and maybe what made you say yes to the opportunity to becoming an author. So kind of take us a little bit back into your story and why you even said yes to Rise. So whoever wants to jump in, go for it.
And then all of a sudden we get quiet.
I know, right? You guys are quiet.
We've used all our words.
You're being so polite. Jump in.
No, for me, it was really, I felt like it was more of a calling. It definitely felt like this pull. It was like this sacred pull that, I do have to share that my grandmother and my grandma always said that she saw me on stage speaking to thousands from the time I was a little girl. I never knew what that meant. So it's very cool that at 93 years old, she is still here to watch this unfold as I'm becoming a speaker and an author through this space. So one of the greatest full circle moments of my life. And then my mom has always said, you have a book in you. And that started when I was probably in my 20s. And then it just kind of never wavered. And her belief in me never wavered. So when this opportunity came up, it definitely felt like this pull that I was like, okay, I have to do this. This isn't maybe I should think about it. It was a full body yes when the opportunity came up for sure. And for me, it wasn't just about myself. I had been through and experienced something in my life that's in my chapter that I really began to believe that it was for all these other women feeling like, is it too late for me to start over? Am I allowed to want more when we've gone through hard things? And so it wasn't about like rehashing all of the pain or anything like that necessarily. It was really about honoring just purpose in what my life has become and just knowing that this is a story for every woman. So that was what was really exciting for me is that even in the messy middle, we can still do really amazing things.
So good. Yeah, who else wants to jump in?
Well, kind of like Noelle, I felt pulled, but not the minute that I heard about this. And in fact, I was trying not to do this. I had messages everywhere, different people that help others write books were finding me. They were on my algorithm. I didn't use the word book. I wasn't putting that into any kind of chat. And of course, I already knew Charity from Business and Bubbly, and I just pretended like I wasn't getting the emails. And Noelle had joined, and I was like jealous, but I didn't feel like, I don't know. I just thought I couldn't do it. And Charity knows this about this, that it was like the 11th hour, literally. So she was closing it down for the end of the year because there was two different segments happening. And it was literally 4:35 p.m. on December 31st, honest to God. And it was closing on December 31st. And I said, I'm doing it. And I just knew I had to do it. I told her that God told me there's no if, ands, or buts about this. Like, you're doing this and this is how it's going to go. And I said, I'm not ready. And he's like, I don't care. I'll make it ready. So yeah, it was a calling. And I never thought that I could write a book. So unlike Noelle, where she was being supported, which is so amazing, and being told she had it, I actually thought that that's just for everybody else.
Mm.
Everyone else can be an author, but not me. I'm not going to be able to be an author. I don't know how to be an author. I'm not going to be able to have the bandwidth to do it. I just am not going to be able to do this. And that's not true. That is not true at all. So, as we know, here we are. Our book will be published in less than 2 weeks. So, and we've done it, and we've all written beautiful chapters. Beautiful chapters. So, yeah.
Oh, I love that. And I love what each of you said, that it really is a call, and like ready or not, here you go. And I think that that's what's so beautiful. Like, even throughout the process of writing, we've really talked about how this is actually about embodying the call of being a messenger. And each of us, we're already a messenger. Like, this book doesn't make us a messenger. We already are. In this book is a part of how a message comes out, right? I'm not a messenger because I have a microphone. It's not this external thing that gives me my identity or gives me my call as the messenger. That's something that I embody and I am divinely given. And there are things in the world that I then put out that show, like, that reflect that in the material world. So I love that you're saying that. And I love, even Elizabeth, what you're saying, like, that's the beauty of a collaborative book. Is it's like, I actually started as an author with a collaborative book, you guys know this, and it's because it's so much less intimidating. Like,
So true.
and I mean, you guys know, you hear me say it's like the gateway drug. Each of you are probably just going to be writing your entire books, your solo books next. But okay, so I would love to hear. So why yes? Why now? Who else wants to jump in?
So I'll jump in and I'll piggyback off a little bit of what Noelle said. So I don't know if you remember Charity, but this was a part of my vision board in December when me and my husband were doing our vision board outside of our home. And writing a book was on that vision board. And I've always been told too, like Noelle, that I belong on a stage. And I know that because I can talk for days. But on the flip side of that, what people don't realize is I'm very private. So this book is it's just the project, just saying yes was just an automatic for me because it wasn't my timing. It was all God's timing because I have been saying this for many, many, many years. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And when Melanie reached out to me, I was just like, what? God is speaking to me right now in this moment. Absolutely, yes. Sign me up. What do I need to do? So it was an automatic yes for me because I knew that it was divine timing. Um, and I had literally just wrote that on my vision board. So it was a great yes. And I'm so excited because you guys are amazing. And I'm just truly grateful to be connected to women who are like-minded and business savvy and just want the best for everyone. So yeah, it was a complete yes for me. I'm excited because this is a precursor to all of our own individual books because we have the amazing Charity behind us and Melanie. Like we are just, this is just the beginning. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much again, Charity.
Same, same. I'm so excited too. All
I'll
right,
jump in.
Heather Olson, Heather McNally.
I'll jump in. I definitely have always felt a calling to help people since I was a little kid, and I thought I was going to be a teacher of elementary school. That's what my mom was. I loved it. I was in her classroom as much as I could be. And long story shortened, I ended up not becoming a teacher. And I just have always had this calling on my heart based on what I grew up in and the fact that something always told me there was something different for me. And I didn't know what it was. And I will say, as my mom became ill in life and she unfortunately had a terminal illness, I learned so much about who I was, what strength was, what grace was, what choice was, and that this was something I was being called to do as well. And so, I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll write a blog. And then, okay, well, I'll become a coach. And then I did a vision board as well. And on my vision board, I put being up on a stage and I put books. I didn't necessarily think that I was going to be the author, but that I wanted to be connected to books somehow beyond just reading them. And I ended up becoming director of business and bubbly, which is what gave me that like push to go. And I'm going to be speaking to people and I'm going to be connecting with people. So this is great. And next thing I knew, there it was, the speaker author training, where I could become a part of this. And it was also a full-bodied yes. And so now I feel like that's my calling, is to help people and still teach, just not elementary school children necessarily. But this is my opportunity to have that message heard
Mhm.
by not just like a one-on-one client, which I love, but a larger audience, because I do feel that what we grow through, what we go through, we grow through, we learn from it, and we can pass that on to other people and help them in a major way.
So good.
Mhm.
Absolutely, 100%. Heather Olson, what about you?
Yes. Um, I'm God just was leading me into this. I never wanted to become a speaker, author. I never had that in my vision at all. Like, and I just it was all God's timing, and he was really telling me that it was time to tell my story, time to help others through what I went through. And I just feel like that now is the time to share my story, because you might not be able to connect with my story specifically, but just we all go through hard times and we all need hope to come out on the other side. And
Mhm.
God saved my life, and now he's it's time to share that story. And just
So good. Oh man. Yeah. And if you guys, you're gonna want to read not obviously every one of these stories are incredible. I literally, so this is the first, this is like the author kind of the behind the scenes rough draft copy that before a book goes live you can order on, which is why that gray tab is there. But reading all of these stories after Melanie worked with all the girls like to edit and to fine tune and to tweak them, and she did an amazing job, and just like the formatting, because and I we collaborated on the book actually. And so in reading these I was just like, you guys, like I was like crying through half of it, and I'm like, these women are incredible, and I have loved like not only getting to know each of you on a deeper level like throughout this process of us getting to work more closely, you know, just on a regular basis in our calls every month. And but gosh, just like hearing your heart and seeing what each of you have gone through and overcome, and the things in your life that, whether it was marriages or jobs or entire lives blowing up and everything in between, and then rising from that, like each of you, you embody the message of what it looks like to rise from when everything is broken, when everything is down, when the rock bottom. And you did it in such a beautiful way to where is, as reading some of the stories, like, is it like, even back to Mary, what you were saying is like, it's vulnerable and it's exposing, and it's like, oh, like here's my heart and I'm opening myself up to like potential criticism, and I'm putting it in print for anybody to leave me an Amazon review on, and like it's vulnerable. It's so like, it's so scary, and you did it in such a beautiful and empowering way that, even back to like Heather Olson, what you were saying, that there's so much power in our stories and what we have learned and what we have gone through and what we have overcome. Because there's a lot of people that teach what they know, right? A lot of, you can like, there's a lot of university professors like teaching business that have never had a business. Sorry, I just want to say it. Sorry, not sorry. But there's a difference when you can actually impart what you've lived. Like with these ladies, they embody the message that they are talking about, and there is a different breakthrough on the other side of what it is that they can impart. So I actually want to dive into a few questions here about what you wrote about your story and about your chapters. So whoever wants to jump in, what is the hardest truth that you wrote about in your chapter, and why did you decide to share it now? Heather Olson, I feel like you have something on this here. Like your story is powerful.
Um, the hardest truth that I had to share, obviously, was being in that deepest, darkest time in my life. And
Why don't you
just,
share like the big, like what you started with?
yeah. So, um, I was going through postpartum depression after the birth of my second son, and just it was a struggle to get through each day. And then I came to a point where I didn't feel like I could go on any further. And on that very day, God miraculously saved my life through having me break my leg in 4 places.
Instead of ending your life.
Yes, instead of ending it.
Yeah. You guys, she had a
Yeah.
plan. She was like going on the one last play date for her kids to like have a happy memory of her as a mom.
Yeah.
Wild, and divine intervention stepped in because he had a different
Yes.
plan for your life.
Yes. And now through all the healing, it's time to share what he did for me, and so other people know that he can do that for them as well.
Yeah, so good. Mary, what about you? What was the hardest truth that you wrote about in your chapter?
So for me, I would have to say that was beautiful chapter, by the way.
Oh,
Like
thank you.
Beautiful. I think for me was the uncertainty. As when I was going through all the trials and tribulations, I at one point kind of questioned my faith because not knowing what the future held for me, even though in my mind I was like, I saw all the things, right, that God was showing me, but it still was uncertainty behind it, right? The self-doubt and all the things and everything that people were saying around me. So for me, that was the hardest thing too. I think just put to paper and just really realize like I'm about to really just expose a part of me that is very scary, right? So for me, this is going to be the most vulnerable I've ever been is in this chapter. And it makes me excited. Like it's still like right now I'm getting that overwhelming feeling kind of when I was writing it down. Um, but in a good way as well. An overwhelming feeling that someone's going to relate and and people that know me now, they're going to know more about me and understand how I operate and why I operate the way I do. Right. And so why I'm always like, I'm go, 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 because I have a fear in my mind that I never want to go back to where I was at. So
Yeah.
it's always a hustle and bustle for me. Right. So the fear of uncertainty and
Yeah.
not knowing what the future held.
Yeah. Because you grew up in like extreme poverty to where you didn't know where food was
Mhm.
coming from or if the electric bill was going to get paid. And, now then as a successful entrepreneur, as a high achieving woman, as an author, um, it's gosh, to go from that. And I love what you said. It's like people like me didn't have dreams like the dreams that I had. And you had to overcome that. And ugh,
Yeah.
see, I'm telling you, you guys are going to want to get the book. If you're listening to this and you are like, where can I pre-order? Where can I get this book? It's on pre-order on Amazon. Go to arisepublishinghouse.com and go to arisepublishinghouse.com/rise dash book. That's where you'll be able to see that. And right now, like I said, we are in pre-orders. And so every pre-order helps each of these incredible women become best-selling authors. So we would love for you to grab your copy. The title, again, if you're checking on Amazon, it's called Rise, How to Find Your People, Your Power, and Your Purpose in Your Journey Towards Success. So grab a copy. And I have another question I'm going to tee up actually for you, Elizabeth. Because this is a good one, and I know you have a good answer. Elizabeth's like her story, you guys. Oh my gosh, so good. And I actually, what you were saying, Mary, it was like this beautiful, almost like this peek behind the curtain of your heart, of your background, of what you grew up with. Elizabeth, I loved learning that about you. And I loved, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I see her and I understand more of her. And this woman is incredible. And I'm like so excited for more people to get to know you and to see you and to just begin to like be in your orbit and just be empowered by you. But here's the question for you, Elizabeth, is what fear did you face in your story? And what would you say to a woman facing that fear now?
So my deepest fear was being left with no way to provide for myself. The fear of being completely unprotected and unseen and without a safety net. And that, like everyone's been saying so far here in their answers, it was just so deep. It was spiritual. And hold on. Alexa, stop. Sorry. I cannot I'm sorry to break this, but I cannot get Alexa to stop telling me the mental health tip of the day at this particular time. So let me get back in frame here, but I literally could not think. So yes, this fear has run my life, my whole life. And my book is, or my chapter is only about 3 years of my life, that span of 3 years. And like I said, just how afraid I was of being left without a way to provide for myself. What I would say to another woman facing this fear, which I think that this is just a fear that a lot of women have, especially entrepreneurial women and high achieving women, is the very ground you think that has given way beneath you can also be the soil where you grow your new roots.
So good.
And what you'll hear in my chapter is you don't have to have it figured out to begin. And I mean, I know a lot of people say that, right? We always say small steps. But the big thing that I learned by writing the chapter that I didn't realize is that clarity is the doorway out of fear.
Mm.
And for years, I was just throwing fire at the wind, trying every therapy, every protocol, everything that could possibly make me feel whole again. Now, remember, this wasn't 2025 when there were all the types of therapies and coaches that there were, that there wasn't even coaching then. That wasn't even a thing, right? What I didn't know is just really what to start with. But once I began to start understanding the root causes of what was happening, rather than just throwing, like I said, fire at the wind, whether it was my nervous system, my hormones, my limbic system, which is your emotional brain, or my spiritual connection, when I understood those root causes, that's when things began to change. And that's why I wrote this chapter. And actually, that's why I wrote a quiz that goes with it. Not to have spoiler alert here, but I just want this woman to know that this isn't about giving you a label or another thing to fix.
Yeah.
It's about shining a light on what your body and your story have been trying to tell you.
Oh,
You can stop guessing.
Yeah.
And start healing with clarity. Because when you know what you're working with, even the smallest step, that is going to give you your power to rise.
Mm-hmm. So good. And I love that you address like the whole being.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're like, sometimes I think in today's world, and especially in kind of this personal development, high achieving women and, women empowerment world that we're all in, it's like there's a lot of what I call is like navel gazing, right? And don't get me wrong, like I literally like it's I healing is good, like get healed, like work on your traumas, do it, all this stuff. But I actually personally think that there's like a lot of what I call navel gazing. It's like, oh, I felt something, I gotta like trigger and I gotta look at whatever and I gotta do all the healing things and I gotta blah blah. And it's like, gosh, like you're like the routine to like not have to feel something is like taking over someone's life. And it's like, well, like back to you, Elizabeth, like, well, what if it's like seed oil? Like stop eating whatever you ate for dinner and you won't feel like that.
Right.
Something like traumatic that you maybe have to feel. It's like, what if it's something you have to change that you eat or your hormones or
yes, exactly. Yes, I mean, sure, I am a trauma informed coach and specialist, really.
Yeah.
But just because I'm trauma informed doesn't mean that I think that that is the place that you should always go for something. But because just like what you're saying, if your estrogen is off, if you're high in estrogen and low in progesterone, it doesn't matter what your trauma was. You are going to have symptoms, like it or not.
Yeah.
The person who had the best childhood is going to have the similar symptoms to the person who had the worst childhood. Of course, there's going to be some things that come up differently, but no one is immune to having a dysregulated body. And that's the biggest thing that I had to learn through my chapter. But it really was because of the fear that I had of not being able to provide for myself and thinking I was always going to be in the spots that I found myself in. And I'm not going to give any more away of my chapter, but there's some crazy places
there are.
You could I found myself in a
like
3-year span of my life. 3 years.
Share a couple because I feel like people like they need to know.
Okay. One is I had a near fatal car accident on at the workplace, and what happened in the medical system, and just how unseen, uncared for I was. And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike traditional medicine. I'm married to an emergency room doctor, so we can't say that. Um, and another was, gosh, I don't want to give it all away. Another was trusting a boyfriend that I thought was actually going to be the one. And then what he happened to do to me as I was recovering from this car accident, I will just say it's downright criminal.
It is. It
Now
is.
everybody needs to know.
Yes.
That's why you have
I
to
cannot
get the
wait. I cannot
book.
wait to read it.
So good. Oh my gosh, you guys. Like seriously. Her story is incredible.
In fact, um, I had shared my chapter with my favorite cousin. Um, and she's and I have always been very close. And there had been years that we didn't talk, but we still were so close. And she was like, "Did all that happen? I mean, did that really happen?" Yeah. And she goes, "And I knew you through all that." And that just gives you an idea of like the title of my chapter, Shattering the Silence, speaking up in a world that preferred me voiceless. That
Yeah.
just tells you everything that my closest cousin didn't even know it because I was so voiceless.
And I think I just have to like interject here because I think that is why this book is going to be a lifeline for so many women and is literally going to be a love letter to women because every single one of us, I guarantee, have that same experience. And people know us from the outside, but have no idea. Even some of our closest family members, even some of our closest friends, especially when we start to make adult friends and they weren't with you through those early years or those childhood years when you went through. I mean, I have the chills right now because I'm thinking about this going, man, that is part of why these stories and being together in a collaborative book is so powerful, is not just for us to share our story, but to help other women understand that so many of us have felt unseen, have felt like we are trying to explain ourselves in a world that you can't possibly tell. I mean, your chapter was over 3 years, a span of 3 years. That's it. And you've lived longer than that, and that is what I feel like is so beautiful about a collaborative book is that you get and even still we all have a book inside of us because there's so much more to our stories, but we are able to finally put something out there that was our truth and that was our resilience, and to bring hope to other women that there is hope in this world and that there is beauty in this world and you can rise from the ashes. I feel like that is such a powerful message.
And I'd love to say as well, you're right, Noelle. And what I think is interesting is I think that each one of us wrote our stories on our own without any help from each other. We didn't influence each other. We didn't know what each other's writing about. But I think you're going to find some common themes, even though, of course, it's about rising and finding your power and but there's going to be those common themes. And where Mary said that she feels like she's being vulnerable and Elizabeth said that she was voiceless. When I was young, I was voiceless and I was told I was not allowed to tell anything. And as I got older, I started testing the waters and I would speak and I would say things. And so I'm the person that, like, I don't mind being vulnerable at all. I don't mind telling people my story. And, but because I was so held down because I was so voiceless for such a long time in my formative years, especially. And that's what I was taught I was supposed to be. And I think society teaches us as children that sometimes, as women, definitely. And to be able to stand up and take our power and to put these stories out there to show other people that you're not alone and that we have each experienced our own form of silence, our own form of being held down, our own form of being silenced and then being vulnerable is just such a strong, powerful thing. And I'm like, my voice is shaking because I'm like really feeling this right now.
So true. And I love what each of you said, where they're like, I love what you said, Noelle. This is a love letter. This is like, it's meant to actually like what we have gone through, how we have found our power, found our voices, how we have found our people in the places where we felt like we were so unseen, how we faced whether it was abuse or neglect or being left in a car or growing up in poverty where lights and electricity didn't even get paid for, or suicidal ideations or burning everything down. Like, you guys, like, it's in here, and how we got out and how we came out on the other side and who we came out as on the other side, right? Because that's a big part. It's like, oh, when you actually like rise, it's more about who you have become in the process. So I would love to hear from you guys who you uh let's kind of do like a two-part, like who you became in the process of your journey, of your story, and who have you had to become or believe that you were in the process of writing this book. So kind of a two-part, and it could be the same, like however you want to answer it, but I'd love to hear whoever wants to jump in.
It's like crickets.
It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to
I know, we're diving in the deep end.
I'll go.
Okay, go.
Okay, so can I have an answer, but I want to frame what you said. So can you ask the first part of the question so I could use that language, please?
Yeah, so who did you become in the process of your rise? And then kind of part two is who did you become in the process of writing about your rise?
Okay, so it is kind of the same answer, but I didn't realize while I was writing the book chapter, I didn't realize that I was more resilient than what I was. I thought
Yeah.
actually going through it, I felt in my inside that I was a victim just going through the motions. If you asked me how I was going through all of this as I was rising, and you will hear specifically in my chapter how I rose, like it's very definitive. I would feel, I have the experience that I was a victim going through this. But in writing it, I couldn't have been a victim to have done all the things I did and
Yeah.
continue to do them and continue to learn and then continue and then go on to teach other people about this. So it's just really interesting that the opinion I had of myself and sort of was told to me about that I'm a victim and, oh, you're always feeling sorry for yourself. I was believing that I was always feeling sorry for myself, but I actually wasn't. It was wild, just wild to see that by looking at this girl 25 years ago, that if I'm looking at this person who is me, but it's 25 years removed, you couldn't see that she's a victim. Even if she was feeling sorry for herself some of the time doing it, a victim couldn't do this.
Yeah.
A victim couldn't do it. A victim couldn't keep it up. So, and I don't say that to brag. I say that to be able, again, like Noelle said, love letter is the most beautiful way and the most articulate and real way to say this, that I know that there are other women who think that they're not doing great because someone told them they're not. They told themselves that they're not. They might be hard on themselves, or like me, that I wasn't just hard on myself. I was feeling sorry for myself, but I couldn't have been feeling that sorry. And maybe they're feeling that too. So
Mm,
it just, this is just a great book for women to be able to see through our eyes. Maybe they can see us through see themselves through our eyes of just how strong they are
yeah.
in the middle of something. And you don't actually need to have gone through it and get to the other end. You don't have to have risen to be able to see your rising.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Yes.
good. That's so good. Heather Olson, why don't you jump in? Who did you become in your rising, and who did you become in the process of writing about it?
I had to overcome a lot of fears. Fears like I think Heather McNally said about being heard and being seen.
Yeah.
And I I thought if people knew who I really was inside, that they wouldn't like me or wouldn't want to be around me if they really knew like the dark thoughts that I was having. And so I hid that part of my life for a really long time. Um, it actually started as a teenager with depression and stuff. Um, and I hid that part of myself for most of my adult life. And I had to get over that and be vulnerable. And I finally opened up to my best friend and realized that by doing so, it healed a piece of my heart and healed part of me that I didn't even know needed to be healed.
Yeah, you really found power in sharing your story
Yes.
and finding your voice.
Yes. It's been a journey, but through doing so, I have become braver and braver with sharing my story and being vulnerable with people and knowing that even even if not everyone can relate to my story, like maybe they can see a part of themselves in in finding that hope and in being vulnerable with someone else.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Heather McNally, what about you?
I'd say that I went from somebody who was voiceless and who felt worthless and um just I didn't matter in any way, shape, or form, and that I could never be anybody. Um, my rising brought me an awareness that I did have voice and I did matter. My rising took a long time. Um, and I will say that I am now able to look back and from the perspective of a mom, where I can look at my sons and say I would do anything for them, and the most beautiful things in the world to me, that my mom felt that way about me. And so I can see myself through her eyes because of that. And so I became so much stronger and stronger and stronger as I went. And in writing the story, I can totally see the addiction to writing now.
It's the gateway drug. Collaborative books are the gateway drug.
Yep. And the one of the things that, Heather was saying is maybe somebody won't see their exact story, but they'll see something that they can identify with. And I think there are themes with everybody, with all of our stories that somebody's going to be able to identify with. and they'll be able to rise, like Elizabeth said, that they are in the rising. So in my rising, I was able to see different pieces of me as time went on. And now I can see that, heck yeah, I deserve to be able to do this. Heck yeah, I deserve to be seen and heard and known. Heck yeah, I have a voice and I'm sick of hiding it. So I'm not hiding it anymore. And now I've met all you beautiful women, and I've been meeting more beautiful women because of it, and feeling so strong and connected and uplifted. And it's, I mean, there are times when I just feel like I can't believe this is my life now, and I'm loving it. And that doesn't mean that I don't have moments of, ugh, because we all do. I don't want to get out
Yes.
of bed. I'm not
Totally.
feeling good today, whatever.
Totally.
But I am. And, I'm living this life that I didn't think was possible, that I thought other people were lucky enough to have. And now there I am. And so writing that really brought that home for me.
Mm, so
I totally, totally, totally resonate with what you're saying, that I thought that this isn't the life
Mm,
that I would be able to live.
yeah.
And by no means do I have it all figured out. By no means is my life perfect at all. And I never thought I could feel this way about life, about others, about God, and about myself. I just didn't think that.
And I'll just piggyback off what Elizabeth just said because it goes into the becoming of writing, right? So for me, the beginning was being vulnerable.
yeah.
And then when I was writing, one night when I was writing, I was remembering, I said, wow, as I'm putting it to paper, I realized in that moment I'm still becoming.
Mhm.
So good.
And everyone looks at me as if I have it all together all the time. But
Yeah.
as I was writing that, I'm like, man, I have accomplished a lot, but I'm still becoming the
Yeah.
woman that God has planned for me, the woman that I see, the visions and dreams that I see, right? And so I just relate to everything you guys are saying because in that moment, I was like, wow, I'm just not, we're just getting started. And so it made me feel so good because I'm like, I have like you guys are my superheroes. Like I have real life superheroes that I get to connect with and ask questions and talk to. Like Heather, you literally always reach out to me. Thank you so much. Always like checking on me. But I'm just like, I know all of you guys, we're all here for each other. And there's not a moment that I'm like, wow, this was just the perfect segue to just all of our own books, but we have amazing Charity and Melanie and all of us together as superheroes. You know, you guys are my superheroes, my real life superheroes. So thank you so much. But that's when I was in that moment, I remember that I'm still becoming as I was writing all those things and thinking about the 7-year-old me versus the 39-year-old me right now and thinking like, whoa, this is just the beginning of something great. And so I'm just excited to read all your chapters. I cannot wait. And I can't wait for everyone to get the books and read them. I know I have a lot of friends and family. They're like, send me the link. And I'm like, I just put it in my bio, you guys, but I'm going to be sharing it to everyone. I promise. So yeah, so it's been a journey, but I'm excited and Charity, thank you so much for always being, the best leader, the biggest girl's girl through all of this. Like I love you so much and you're always checking on me. I just love you and I'm just so grateful to be connected to great women. So thank you guys so much. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hug y'all's necks.
So good. Oh, guys,
I love what you said
this
about
is like,
still becoming. And I thought the
yeah.
next book, Still Rising.
Yeah, right. Part two. We're just
Uh,
gonna keep it going, you
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Noel,
Because
what about
we still
you?
are becoming because the seasons, right? We all still have those seasons, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's a new season. So that's another chapter we can write about, right? So it's still an ongoing process, and that's why it's so important to always now. Another thing I would say is that I've been like I journal in the mornings, but my journaling has shifted as well. It's more of how can I, from the precursor of this book with everyone to the book that I want to write. So now my perspective of my journaling has changed to writing, getting prepared to write the book. So I would say that too. So thank you, Charity.
Good. Whoa, I can't wait. So, Noelle, what about you? And Elizabeth, I know you have to head out in just a few minutes and we'll wrap this up. But I want to hear from Noelle. And then, Elizabeth, before you go, if you can, I actually want to hear if if a reader takes away only one thing from your chapter, what do you hope it is? So sit on that question. And Noelle, I want to hear from you about who you have had to become who you
Mm,
have become in your rise, and
yeah.
what did it look like for you writing about it?
Well, I am in midlife, so I'm 51. I'm a mom, and I say I'm in that sandwich era of raising children, but then also watching my parents age and going through that. I was very protective of my story due to the fact that my kids are a part of this story and they're a huge part of my story, and especially what I chose to write in this chapter. But what was so beautiful about that is, as I knew it was a full body yes, and there was a calling, I did not know what my chapter was going to be about. I could write lots of chapters, therefore, I know there is a book in me. But when I settled in on this particular part, it was because of my kids. It was the conversations around the fact that I'm writing this story. And we sat down and we talked about it. And because they lived the story with me and they saw the breaking, they saw the rebuilding, and they saw, and they've been witnessing the rise in this space. When I told them I was going to write this chapter, they did not flinch and they just assumed it was going to be about what I wrote about. And they were ready and they gave me that permission to be able to move forward as a mom. And for me, it became about the legacy of, my grandma is 93 years old, and I go, I'm so grateful that I have all the stories that she shared, that I get to hold on to those forever. And I started to realize how important that was for me to be able to leave that for my kids, um, and for my family. But then also just discovering this favorite version of myself that I did not know existed. And going back to what everybody is saying is like, we have, had our struggles and we've maybe not felt all the worth. And on the outside, things look great, but on the inside, we're struggling, And so it was a moment where there were some deep truths that I was able to start to uncover and really peel back those layers and be honest about those, because it's hard. It's hard. I was a teacher for 25 years, and you're living on this like different platform where you feel like you have to have it all together all the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if they only knew what was happening behind the scenes, they would have no idea. And I feel like how many other women are out there going through that same exact thing. And so that was kind of my push. It was like the kids, the legacy, but it was the becoming where I could look myself in the mirror. And when we were at our retreat and we had to do that stinking exercise that was like so hard for me, I think that was the moment that I realized, like, holy cow, this is the beginning of the becoming. Because I thought I had already done all this work. Like, I was like, I've been healing those traumas, I've been moving forward. And then I had to look at myself in a mirror and I had to really love myself. And I was like, oh, shoot, I don't know if I'm there yet. And that was it. Even just makes me want to cry right now, because it was so hard. And it still is, there's still things that we have to get through. And that is what I feel like built me through this chapter, is understanding that I can have a favorite version of myself and I like who I'm becoming and I have more clarity. And that is what is helping me to be able to continue to become and to step into her and all of the things that we talk about here. So, yeah, it has for sure been a journey and it has been vulnerable. And I'm not going to lie that about 2 days ago, I was like, what the heck did I just put on paper?
Totally.
I'm freaking out. I was like, oh gosh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
We're gonna have to
Can I
have
take
like
it back?
some nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do some regulating for sure because I was definitely having a day and I started to panic a little bit and then I just came back to self. I came back to that grounded space and our retreat and I came back to my kids and my husband and I was able to talk through that with my friend. I called Elizabeth. I was like, "Oh my gosh." So yeah, it's definitely a journey for sure.
Oh, so good. Oh, I love it. For those of you that don't know what she's talking about looking at herself in the mirror,
Oh,
we have a leaders retreat, and I kind of facilitated some different things as far as just like who they needed to show up as and what they needed to give themselves permission for and forgive themselves for, and even just facing some of their biggest fears. And that looked like looking at themselves in the eye and actually vocalizing that fear. And mirror work is a really beautiful way to be able to
In front of everybody. We didn't do this
yes,
at a
I
mirror
know it
just
was
by
so
ourselves.
Not private.
it was so safe and it didn't feel safe. But
Yeah,
so
it was safe.
Elizabeth, I want to know um
Sorry.
what I know you have to jump off here and we'll wrap this up. And maybe each of you guys can maybe just end on this question. What's something that you wish every woman knew in if she's in the midst of her rock bottom or she's in the midst of her rise? Maybe that one takeaway from your chapter. What do you wish that
Oh gosh, that's so hard. But I would say the theme, it isn't a thing, it's a theme that
yeah.
I want her to know is that your voicelessness needs, or your lack of voicelessness, your voice, let's say it in the affirmative, your voice needs to begin with you. It's not by being heard by anyone. Stop trying to be heard by others so you can hear yourself. That's the biggest thing I learned is that I needed to listen to me. I
Yeah.
needed to listen to my body. I needed to listen to my mind, to what my emotions were, and I needed to listen to my soul. And that's why I do this comprehensive work. Because if we're not listening, we can't get to the root of what's happening.
Yeah.
And when we've been silenced for so long by systems, by people, by abuse, by religion, whatever it happens to be that we've been silenced by, we stop listening to ourselves first.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want them to get. Yeah.
And I'm gonna just piggyback on that, Elizabeth, since this is our kind of like our final, is it made me realize that, we hear that phrase, you're one in a million, but really, we are 1 in 8 billion. There is no one else that is you. And that's what I would want women to hear too, because I feel like, just like you said, I thought about that and I went, oh my gosh, that's so powerful. Is it's choosing me, it's choosing you, it's choosing you, that you are worthy again and again and again. It is not something that we have to forget about. And that's the part that I feel like, there's so much weight that we were never meant to carry.
Oh,
And we've carried that.
Yeah.
And I go, dang, like, gosh, we have just carried it. And so now it can be about honoring who we have become, who we are becoming, despite all the struggles, and because of them, we are where we are now. And we have a choice every single day, but we are 1 in 8 billion. There is no one else
Yeah.
like you. And that's where I feel like that's where I want women to feel so seen and so heard and loved. So, so loved. For
yeah.
sure.
Those
I
are
love
beautiful. I'm just to follow up with through that? Like, really, girls? Mine is going to be really simple, but because I really feel like there's so many takeaways from what I wrote, right? But my biggest thing is because I have to remind myself of this as well all the time, is that real growth does not come from avoiding the struggle, but from choosing to rise through it.
Yes.
So the perfect title to this book is just chef's kiss. So I think that that is exactly what I want women to take away from my chapter. And I guarantee you, when we read all these ladies' chapters as well, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to take away something just so beautiful. So I'm so excited. So thank you all so much. Mwah.
And if just about that one thing, for anyone who is a Christian and has that perspective, I mean, rise, hello. I mean, can there have been a better title, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure that didn't go unnoticed, Charity. I'm sure there was a thought in that.
God might have just given me the title.
I love it.
So good. I know we want to hear from Heather McNally and Heather Olson as well. But if you are jumping in, make sure that you head over to arisepublishinghouse.com, click on the Rise button, and you can pre the book. There's actually about $100 worth of freebies that you're also going to get when you pre-order. And we have our Rise Transformation Guide. There's actually a book club guide. This is all about finding your people, your power, and your purpose. And part of you finding your people is actually like bringing people together and creating that community and creating those conversations around all of our stories. Like there's something so beautiful about coming together and sharing stories, and the book club guide guides you through all of that. You'll get a sneak peek into the book as well. So go to arisepublishinghouse.com, click the Rise book down at the bottom, and you'll be taken to where you can pre-order, or it's on Amazon as well. So our Heathers Olson and Heather McNally, I'd love to hear for you. Like what do you want people to know about or take away from your chapter?
I just want women to know that my story is not not unique to me. If God can bring me through the trials and tribulations that I went through, he can bring any one of you through it. And I just want to share that a couple of years ago, sitting on my couch praying in the morning, God lifted that depression from me. And if he can do that for me, he can do it for anyone. Um, I just want everyone to know that there is hope if you're struggling right now, that he can do the same for you that he did for me.
That's beautiful, Heather.
Thank you.
I would say for me, you don't have to walk somebody else's path, something that somebody planned out for you. You have your own voice and you can learn how to step off of the path that somebody may have tried to force you down, and you can choose your own. And you have a voice and um, you have everything within you to be able to go from feeling lost, feeling hopeless, feeling absolutely worthless. And unfortunately, I can understand the suicidal ideation. And you can go from that to literally saying, I can't believe this is my life. I'm so happy. And that, it doesn't need to be because you're a millionaire or because you have everything. You know, I sit and I find myself looking outside at a hummingbird feeder I have and getting so much joy out of that because it's nature and it's beautiful. And so you can go from walking that path that somebody else has tried to force you down with no voice and no worth to loving who you are, where you are, everybody in the world, nature, all of it. And that it is, it sounds so hard when you're in that horribly low place, but there are things you can do for yourself, and there are people you can turn to and start to make choices to be able to choose the life that you want.
So good. I love it. Oh, you guys, I just feel like we could just keep doing this and do this forever. And Heather, I love what you said. It's like we get to choose a choice. We don't have to like go through the motions and be a part of the herd. We actually like I love what you even said in your chapters that choice is our superpower. And it's one of the biggest things that we like. It really is like, am I going to choose XYZ or the bazillion things are in front of me? Or yeah, it just is so beautiful. I am so excited for this to get out into the world. So if you guys are watching, go to arisepublishinghouse.com, click the button for the Rise book, and you can pre-order it there. And as we finish up, I feel like I don't know who has it, but I feel like someone has a really incredible closing thought as we end this out. What do you want to say to people?
Buy the damn book.
I want to say you are beautiful. You, whoever you are watching this, you are beautiful.
Yeah. And you're worthy. You're worthy of everything that's coming to you that's planned out for you. And you're going to be the next author. Yeah.
Good. Buy the book.
Buy the book. Let's go, you guys. Buy the book. Let's go.
So good. Well, ladies, I have loved our conversations. I've loved it just is so I'm just like, I cannot wait for you guys to get this in your hands, for you guys to feel it and touch it as well. Melanie, she also is one of our other authors, and her and I collaborated. She did incredible work with editing and formatting the book. It is beautiful, and all of the authors, they have an author page as well, so you guys can start to get to know people and dive into all of their social medias and websites. I know most of them also have a free gift in here, whether it is some sort of thing that you can download or is that you can take, or goodies that you can grab a hold of when you grab your book and you read the chapters, you dive into the stories. And we are so honored to just get this out into the world. It's so needed, and it's something that's so, so special. Just like Noelle said, it's a love letter, and we just can't wait for you guys to get a hold of it, because there's power in our stories. And there's when you embody a message, like each one of these women have lived the message that you're going to read in these pages. And it just is something different that you can't get from a how-to book or from a business strategy or from a whatever XYZ. Like there's something really, really transformational that you're going to receive from what's in this book. So we want you guys, we hope that you grab your copy. Ladies, thank you for being here. I always love seeing your beautiful faces, and that we just get to be together. I mean, I could just like, I say we just like do another one just so we can all like hang out together more and work on another like dream and launch a dream and birth a dream out into the world more. So you know me, I'm just like, let's all like keep going together. But I just love each of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you, as each of you are now officially published authors. And when we as we head into our bestseller launch, we are yes, just order the dang book, okay? Right, go to arisepublishinghouse.com, click on the Rise book, order your copy, pre-order your copy today, grab it on Amazon, help us hit bestseller, help support these women. This is more than just a book, it's a message, and it's going to bring incredible transformation. So, all right, you guys have an amazing, amazing night, and we will see you
Bye.
soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so